Man, I'm so excited to talk about this. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Cody, you ready? We'll take the rope, we'll take the tape off, but you can't say anything bad about Luffy. Deal? You promise? All right, Megan, take the tape off.
I just don't think he's like that great.
All right, I don't think you get
God.
it. Megan, why don't you take it out back and give him a little convincing?
Yeah, let's go. Come on, buddy. Let's go have a talk.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Volume 1, the anime and manga podcast, where we usually review the first volume of a brand new manga each week, but today we're back to reviewing One Piece. My name is Josh Huge Garden Michaels, and today, as always, I am joined by
Miss Golden Week, Megan Perrine.
Cody D. Ecker.
Hey Cody, how you doing today?
Hi.
Good.
Feeling good? You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Today we're going to be talking about the Little Garden arc of One Piece, specifically chapters 115 through 129, and we've been reading the comments, and I personally, as a fan of One Piece myself, was also getting a little tired of the disrespect. And so I took it upon myself to get ahead of the problem and attach a little bit of a shock collar device to Cody. So at any point throughout the show, if you decide that you have anything bad to say about anybody, maybe, you know, somebody with a straw hat and a red jacket, then Megan over there, Miss Golden Week over there, will shock you.
All right. I mean, yeah, I love One Piece. It's fantastic. So
Who's your favorite character?
it's Luffy.
Good. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am very excited to talk about this arc. A lot of fun stuff happens. It's a short arc, but the only way to really get through it was to just do it in one video. I want to get to Chopper 2. I want to get to Drum Island, but we have to get through Little Garden first, and to combine them would have been too long of a video. So Little Garden and then Drum Island is next. So Megan, you finally get to meet Tony Chopper
I'm so excited.
In the next episode. But for now, we're talking Little Garden. The gang where we last saw them was setting sail. They had their meeting with, no spoilers here, they had their meeting with Miss All Sunday.
Yeah, Miss All Sunday.
Yeah, who could that be?
Who knows, honestly. Kind of blocked it out of my memory.
I mean, I have no idea because
Yeah.
I wasn't there for it.
I mean, you were there.
What a thurling mystery that I have in my mind.
You were there. You just had to pee so bad.
Yeah.
That you were, the urine was blocking your ears.
The urine was going up to his brain.
And
Yes.
Thank God, because now
Yeah.
this thrilling mystery of intrigue
Yes.
is all mine.
Cody, you're in a really good mood today.
Yes. I'm in such a good mood.
You seem in high spirits.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it.
That's
I love
right.
to see it. I love to see it.
I'm set sail for adventure.
Yeah.
And speaking of adventure, the Straw Hats are setting sail for Little Garden, who Miss All Sunday has told them is going to be very dangerous, and even offered them an eternal post to Alabasta so they don't have to go there. But Luffy, being the great, strong captain that he is,
Amazing. It's fantastic. I've never seen a more well-written character in my life.
decided that no one else is going to decide their course, that he is going to decide his course, which I thought was very, very beautiful. And an awesome character moment for all, I think, of one of our favorite characters, Monkey D. Luffy. On the way there, Cody, did you have something to say?
No, I just remembered something else.
Okay. Megan, just
What'd
get
you
your hand
remember?
ready. I don't know.
I don't know why you would have to have your hand on the remote.
What do you remember, though?
Just how much I love this character.
Thank you, dude, for saying that, because I know it comes from the heart. They're on their way, and the Grand Line we know is full of monsters. We know it's full of sea creatures, and on the way to Little Garden, they see a dolphin, and it turns out to be a gigantic, huge dolphin.
But have you guys ever seen dolphins? It's amazing.
In real life?
Yeah.
No.
Scary.
From a distance, I might have seen one.
Oh, yeah. I remember we used to go to Mexico once a year, my family. And there were at this beach, there'd be dolphins every morning.
You ever rode one?
No, I'm not a fantasy creature.
Well, I think it's also,
It's realistic. People do that in real life.
Yeah,
Do
but
they?
I think it.
Yes.
No, yeah, people pay to have it done, but I think it's illegal in some countries because it hurts the dolphins.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like how
And they could hurt you.
elephants, you're not
it
supposed
hurts
to
them more.
Like it hurts elephants' backs to ride them.
Oh yeah, don't ride elephants, dude. For real, it's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But people love it, dude. People love, and they take pictures
Yeah,
and they
I
post
know.
it.
Like, look at me go. And you're like, oh yeah, you're killing.
Yeah, you're hurting them.
Yeah.
You're hurting them. But big monsters, big dolphin, because Little Garden, not so little.
No.
Yeah, they got Greenland.
They got Greenland.
What do you mean?
Oh, because it's called a Little Garden because everything's so
Got
big.
Iceland, Greenland. I get it.
Yeah.
That
I
flew
get
over
it.
our heads.
Mm.
That
Yeah.
Luffy flew over our heads.
Well, now
No,
that
I think
much
no.
like the brilliance of Luffy, it's where his sheer intellect is wearing off on me.
Mm.
Ah.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
You
Oh.
do seem like you just are so much more full of
I
knowledge
know.
today.
Yeah, knowledge and just pure happiness, I think.
Mhm.
So we
I'm
meet.
so happy.
We meet the inhabitants of Little Garden, right? And as they get there, they notice that everything is way bigger than it is supposed to be, and it's because it is a little garden to its inhabitants, right?
Mhm.
And this is another point in the story where Oda does what he does all the time, which I like, is that he splits the gang up, he splits the crew up, and so Usopp and Nami want to stay. Zoro and Sanji have a hunting contest, and Luffy and Vivi set off for adventure.
Which
And
at the-
Karoo, yeah.
At the beginning, I like that no one just fell asleep.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, is everyone going to do something? This
And I did like how everyone was like, I mean, not Sanji and Zoro so much, but everyone was kind of concerned. And Luffy's like, oh yeah, adventure, let's go.
It's
Yeah.
so charming.
And
It's got a little charm to it,
He
right?
was just
Mhm.
like, pack me a lunch, Sanji,
It's-
let's go.
first
I'm
of all,
leaving.
Laughing out loud, hilarious.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean,
I think
because
it's the
he's
funniest thing to be like, I'm gonna do it. You're like, yeah.
and now that I have this opportunity to say how I really feel, without having to fight my case,
Defend your viewpoints.
because what I say is right. I think Luffy in this arc, especially, again, has another moment. He gets like one solid moment per arc, I think, and this arc was like about honor. And I do think that while Luffy might run around and seem like he doesn't care about most things, even, safety a lot of the time, like he does, the things he does care about, he really, really, really cares about.
Like the power of friendship,
And his crew.
And honor. Yeah.
And honor.
honor,
Yeah.
and friendship.
Honor and friendship. And those are two things. Those are two out of the three things that I love and value.
Hmm.
What's the third one?
Nicotine. I can't
Oh
stop.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a problem.
hmm I mean, who doesn't have a nicotine problem?
Yeah,
right?
I
It's
know.
like
Days.
I just dabble in it. I dab in it. Megan,
Ah.
give us a
Oh.
dab. There she is.
Oh,
Look
boy.
at the queen go.
Dabby.
Dabby.
And
Dabby, hey.
Nami and Nami and
You're
Usopp
my
decide
hero.
to stay back. And what's crazy is that like she goes through the library on the ship and she's reading and she goes, I know why it's called Little Garden. I know who these inhabitants are.
I really like that build up too.
Yeah.
I
Her having
really
an
like that
inquisitive
build up.
mind that's like
Yeah.
guiding the crew.
Well, the
Yeah.
crew's off doing their own thing. She figured it out a little too late.
Yeah. She's like, I know why. Usopp's like, what? What? Usopp has no idea about
Yeah.
anything.
I did think that was fun that like everyone goes off and then it's just Usopp and Naomi. It's like, oh, have these guys talked? It's like
Yeah, it's cool.
They you see my kids. I'm like, okay, cool. They didn't fall asleep, and then there's gonna be that one guy doing something,
Mm-hmm.
which does bother me in team stories. If like if they're never a team,
Yeah.
it's always like, but this time
Well,
that
even-
guy fell down a hill.
Yeah, in the climax of this story, there is
Which
one person.
it went right back to like, oh yeah, it's just like now it's just this is time for two people to shine.
But because three of them were out of commission. One of them wasn't
Mhm.
even there at all. But the one who wasn't there at all at least moved
To the
the
point
story
where I
forward.
At least he
honestly
did something.
forgot that they were even in the team because I'm like, oh yeah, everyone's tied up, and he's like, and I'm here. I'm like, oh right, he was here the
Fuck, I
whole
forgot.
time.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
been gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, one character like even though he ended up doing nothing, I did like Zoro got like his moment,
Zoro, I mean, this
Mm.
is
even though he like once again was prohibited from doing something in the story.
this is an arc that solidifies Zoro as maybe my favorite character so far, just because
Oh.
outside of action, he's so funny.
Mhm.
And he's just like his attitude about fighting and wanting to fight and I don't know. Like
His-
he's just a
His
cool
humor
character.
lands,
Mhm.
and I would say his humor lands the most out of all these characters.
Is there someone's
Mhm.
humor who doesn't land?
I mean, I that it would be a stretch to say if someone's humor didn't land.
That was pretty close. You're getting pretty close.
Well, let's gum up this conversation.
All right. I don't know what it means.
Gum up.
The
I'm,
powers of rubber and gum.
I'm gonna just move on. Okay.
Your gumma just move on.
Okay,
I'm gonna
do
just
you
move
on.
want to
I'm gonna
keep
gumma
going?
move on.
Yeah, we should keep moving. But everyone's humor lands first of all.
Yes.
Mhm.
But Zoro's actually lands. for me.
Honestly, Sanji's. I'm warming up to Sanji more and more.
Mhm.
I didn't necessarily think I was gonna be like, oh, he's like one of my favorites, but I don't know. I mean, I still love Usopp. Like,
Well,
I think Usopp's my
because he would cook you
favorite.
things.
He would.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Why'd you
Yeah.
react that way?
Because I
you
was
went
like,
through a
oh
whole-
yeah, because
Yeah,
I
you're
love
like-
food, but it's like,
Yeah.
But he
I
would
would
also do
eat-
chores for you and stuff.
but he would like cook, like he would know my portions
Sure. Yeah.
yeah.
and my proportions.
Oh boy. I mean, he definitely probably
I had
already
to. I had
knows
to.
those.
No.
Yeah. Why don't we do a little volume 1 comment corner and give out Megan's measurements
No.
so people
No.
can make cosplay for her?
Oh, that'd be a fun idea.
Oh,
You can mail it to a
yeah.
PO box. At,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
In the description below.
in the
That's
that's where it is.
okay,
Oh,
that's
it's
what
right
we were
down there.
talking
It's
Look at
right
that.
down there.
Oh,
Yay.
did you click it yet?
Send us stuff.
Please.
I kind of just want to hit it. Yeah. Like,
I would love
I
it
just
if
want-
you didn't hit it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
I don't
pretty.
know. Just like him, like. You know.
Yeah, it's pretty strong. I'd be careful.
Okay, I'll save it for later then.
But dude, I mean, I think, Sanji is a simp. Yes, I think he was my favorite character. I think he will get better and he will win me back over. But right now, Zoro has my heart
Mm,
and has my heart pretty much this whole arc, even though he's not in it till the very end. But
yeah.
the inhabitants of this island are 2 giants named Dory the Blue and Broggy the Red. They are also dinosaurs. They're also prehistoric. It's a island that is stuck in time.
And it looks
Yeah.
like all the islands, they have like hybrid animals. Because that treasure island had them, and now this island has them too.
Mhm.
And
I
then also
like-
dinosaurs.
I like the dinosaurs.
Me too. Love
That
it.
was a cool touch. And then like that point where Luffy goes up on one of the long necks and he's like fucking around and he's like, "What are you doing? It's still a dinosaur."
Yeah, it does kind of remind me of a One Piece movie where it's called like Strong World, and they just go to an island where everybody's really strong, even like the animals and stuff. And it just seems a lot like Little Garden, like a lot.
Wow.
At least in
Strong
that,
World.
in the premise.
Couldn't
one
have
of the
come
best.
up with a
Oh, it's one of the
more
best One Piece
creative
movies, though.
name.
That's
No.
pretty creative.
No, it's,
I'm gonna-
it's
You're
genius.
gonna
in
get a
it.
shock.
Megan,
Chill out.
It's
dude.
genius in its simplicity.
Okay. I'll give it that.
It's smart because
I
it's
was
lazy.
just asking. Don't
By
get on
not
me.
being creative, it's subverting the expectation of the
Mm.
creativity itself.
Wow.
Thank
making
you,
it
Cody, for
genius.
explaining. Thank
Yes.
you. Clearing that up. Yeah, Dory, Broggy, love them, dude.
Yeah.
I think they're so fun. Their story and this whole arc is really just about them and their fight that's taking place over 100 years. I wrote down the exact number of battles: 73,466 draws up until this point.
Which very similar to the whale thing.
Mhm.
I was like, this is probably over something minor, and they're going to be friends at the end. And I was just see like Luffy's going to be like, be friends now, which is great, by the way. I was really looking forward to that happening.
You were.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I was.
Oh, are you being?
I'm not being sarcastic, first of all,
Okay,
So I-
I believe you.
but just like right up, similar to if you see a family either happy or arguing at the beginning of a zombie movie, they're going to die.
Yeah.
Seeing this in this setting, I'm like, they're going to make up at the end.
Right.
Hmm.
I think
And
these-
it's gonna be like how when Luffy and Zoro fought, and he was like, "I thought you were mad about food." I expected like it was gonna be that like, "Oh, we debated, we had a cook off, and I thought mine was better."
I think these stories feel a lot like parables or like fables, like they
Mm.
feel as if they like even the what was the whale's name again? I already forgot.
Moby.
Not
Not
Moby.
Moby.
It was Laboon.
Laboon.
It
Yes.
was Laboon. Even with Laboon and even with the guy who was stuck in the treasure chest, like they all feel like parables. They all feel like they're fun twists on like stories that have lessons.
Mhm.
Or, I mean, that might not necessarily be the case, but it's how I felt. It's like it's a story about honor for sure. What friendship
It would be
really means.
It would be really easy to compare it to genuine political things,
Mhm.
especially it's like, oh, they both fight over this land, and one will get the edge, and they never quit. I'm like, you could make a joke about things happening,
Yeah.
in desert regions right now.
Well, let's not get too political.
Yeah, which is why I'm not.
Yeah.
Which
And
is-
I won't. Nobody's gonna get shocked for that.
East of California, I meant, so it could be like Jersey.
Right. Because I was gonna say, dude, Cody, I mean, I feel like me and you have a little bit of a Dory and a Broggy sort of relationship.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, we fight. But if anybody were to like jump in the middle and like, sabotage
It's like,
one of us.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and mind your own business?
Yeah,
pal?
why don't you get out of here?
Why don't you? You're ruining everything.
Yeah, both of us just shift our attention towards them.
What?
Yeah. Who are you?
What the hell are you doing?
What?
And then, but then we go back to like, just ripping each other
Which,
apart.
to be clear, I'm Dory. You're Groggy.
Broggy.
Broggy.
He's a little bit bigger, but he's also.
Did I get a name slightly wrong?
Cody, you're gonna.
Oh no!
Oh my!
You've inserted the wrath. Dude.
Oh, there they go. It's not that. It's this. Oh,
read
thank
the
you.
comment. What are you reading?
Thank you so much for clarifying. I know you can't misspeak at all.
Glad we got that cleared up.
Keep going, man.
Glad we got that cleared up. Just want to get ahead of the comments here. We don't want to upset anybody at all. Story and Broggy are great. Their relationship is great. This story about their fight that's been going on for over 100 years is great. They explain that they can live longer lives. That's why.
They and their like home, their island, Elbath. They like if you have.
Oh, is that even right? Well, here we go. In the 15th century, that's
Elbath.
When the Latin language was first created.
Sorry, I didn't nail that one. But
Elbath. Yeah, they have to get sent when they have like arguments, I guess, to another island or something to like figure it out and kill each other for honor.
The classic, we'll let God decide, and by that you guys fight it out, and whoever wins, that means that you were right. Mm-hmm. A great foundation for settling disputes.
Yeah,
I think it's awesome, dude. I think it's an awesome, very warrior way of doing things, and I think I was just as charmed as Usopp by these.
And what's interesting is they're clearly based on Vikings, which the author he highlighted a lot of the negative aspects of Viking culture in the notes. Mm-hmm. Positive one, they had like poem-offs to settle disputes.
Yeah, he also,
where they would like insult each other.
Like rap battles.
Yes, they had those.
Yeah. I would fucking crush it, dude, if I was in one of those.
Go ahead.
Cody, I want to in post. I want to like put a beat here.
Yeah.
Cody, don't say anything bad about Luffy, or else everybody in the comments is gonna call you Goofy.
I was trying to think of.
And that's all I got. Just one solid bar.
Wow. Yeah, just
Go
one
ahead.
solid
You
bar.
Go.
It doesn't have to be directed towards me.
No, it should be.
I want to stress that.
Go ahead.
We all reading One Piece all of the time. Don't get too mad about my rhymes. We're here with Volume 1 today, and we gotta know what to say about One Piece and Cody tied up in the chair.
Fell apart at the end.
He's crying.
It fell apart at the end.
And moping. And there's
doping up.
Nope. There's
okay, Megan. I'm saving you. Here's me throwing the lifeline over the boat.
That was pretty good.
To save
if
you.
You get a beat, then I get a beat.
Then neither of us are.
Yeah, get like a EDM type.
But
yeah, you know that classic EDM.
Love these characters. I love their fight. I love, and Usopp is charmed by them. Vivi and Luffy get like paired with I think Dory, and Usopp and Nami get paired with Broggy, and they're having their conversation.
Yeah, they each meet one of them separately.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Me
like
too.
that. Yeah, they had like totally different interactions from them because Nami and Usopp straight up thought they were gonna be killed.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just so nice. He's like, "You guys got any beer?" They're like, "Just pretend to be dead. Pretend to be dead. He won't do anything." Yeah. And then Vivi and Luffy's like gung ho. He's like, "Fuck yeah, a giant."
Yeah, and we kind of
man of action.
A man of action.
He is a man of action.
Charge.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also kind of cool too because we see that Vivi's kind of down as well.
Mm-hmm.
She's a down ass.
Hyena, wow. She is though. Like I think Usopp's like, how could she do that? And it's like, well, she did infiltrate a organization that was trying to take her down. Yeah. Like of course she's a badass. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they make a cute team.
They make a great team, dude. And I love that they at some point figure out that their friends are with the other opposite giant, and their signal for battle is every time this volcano erupts. Then that's their cue, no matter what, to fight until death or a draw. And they've had 73,000 draws, and it's very cool. Yeah. They find out that they have ale, and so Broggy gives Dory some ale, And everybody's getting along. Everybody's really chummy. Nami and Usopp are a little suspicious because they see human corpses, but I think Bragi tells her like, well, the log post it's gonna take a year for the log post to reset, and nobody can survive on this island for a year.
Yeah, it's not us killing you unless
And
you try to kill
sometimes
us.
People do start fights, and we kill them because we're giant people,
Yeah.
and it's no contest.
And it's just the dinosaurs and the bugs and the tigers that'll get you.
Yeah, and everybody's getting along, and everybody's having a great time, and everybody's drinking ale, and then out of nowhere, I think it's Dory's stomach just explodes and smoke starts coming out of his mouth. And you find out that someone put an explosive in the ale.
I wonder.
Just got to keep you guys on your toes, you know?
What?
Just got to keep you guys on your toes. And there will be comments about that. People will be like, I don't like the sounds. Take the sounds out.
Yeah. Oh, there they go.
The sounds
Look at
are, you know, this sounds like, you know.
You want to
Look at him
go through the history of manga real quick to explain.
But anyway, someone put an explosive in the ale.
Yeah, I wonder who. Who could it have possibly been?
I did kind of wonder
who
for a
else?
second. Because I didn't think that these people were still alive. We had got like a little glimpse of Mr. 3 and Miss Golden Week on a ship on their way to
I knew
Little
immediately
Garden.
who it was. Who was on the ship?
They weren't on the ship.
No, who was on the ship with them that was giving them advice?
Miss All Sunday.
Miss All Sunday. But she didn't do it.
But didn't she?
Didn't she?
No.
No.
No. You were so confident.
I thought she did.
I thought you were saying that she was like a mole that told them to like, that's where they're at.
Oh.
No, it was
But-
Mr. 5 with the explosive
It was
boogers.
I thought it was
Mr.
Mr. 3.
5.
No, Mr. 3 is the guy.
Oh, is
No.
Mr. 3 the guy with the 3 on his head?
Yeah, Cody.
That's a joke, by the way. I don't
Yeah,
know if I
Cody.
need an explanation about.
You know
It's
what I
the
think?
3 is it's obvious.
Cody.
Yeah, thank you, Megan. Thank you.
Mhm.
Better? You feel better?
I'm fine.
You know who I think Mr. 3, you know, they're talking about a live action One Piece movie on Netflix. You know who I think would be a perfect casting for number 3 or Mr. 3? Every time I see him, I imagine him as the guy who played Gus Fring in Breaking Bad, you know? That guy who was in like Mandalorian, that guy
Oh,
who was
yeah.
like he's in like a video game.
Far Cry
Far
6.
Cry, yeah.
It's still Far Cry.
Yeah, that guy. He would be a perfect Mr.
Yeah.
I liked the introduction of him being like, you're going to give my identity away. And he just has a 3 on his head.
Yeah, yeah. Funny.
Mhm.
Funny. And then we don't know what Miss Golden Week
I thought it was her.
does.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you came in like super confident.
I know, I did.
But yeah, so I don't know who it was, but yeah, someone else is on the island, and now Dory thinks that Luffy had something to do with it. And so Luffy, you know, being the guy that he is, a good guy, is like, I'm going to just take him out. I'm just going to incapacitate him because we can't have this misunderstanding.
Mm.
And he does pretty easily because the explosive like really fucked him up.
Yeah. You know, I saw a thing where it's like, oh, Cody he underestimates Luffy just like everyone does. And it's like, I don't underestimate him. I know he's powerful. That doesn't make someone like a good character. But in Luffy's case, it does. But I feel like there's a misunderstanding that if you don't like someone, you don't get how strong they are.
Mhm.
But I do like it.
Good.
I like it too.
Mhm.
We do find out a little bit about Mr. 3's plan, right?
Mhm.
And because these guys have been battling for hundreds of years, they still have a bounty on their heads. And that bounty is worth 100 million berries. I mean, just for some context or scale, Luffy's 30 million. These are 100 million each. And so he's going to basically pit them against each other and then take the Straw Hats out and come up on top with 230 million berries.
Which I'm not familiar with the economy of One Piece, but that was probably like a lot.
But yeah, oh boy, that's a lot. Yeah. And I just wanted to prove to everybody I could do math, by the way.
No.
Oh, but you got it. You forgot to actually, in another translation, the bounty, it's actually this. Did you see when they say berries, what they meant was they meant the old berries, but the bounty is the new berries. And so you got it. You were off by this many. It is actually, you were off by 10 berry points.
Oh, sorry about that. Your time's up. Yeah, dude. I mean, I like the character design of Mr. 3,
Mhm.
but wait till you guys, and we see him at the very end. We see like the back of him.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
wait till you meet Mr. 2 Bon Clay. He is
Bong?
Bon.
Bong.
That's
B-O-N.
your royal name.
B-O-N-G.
B-O-N. Jesus Christ.
You can't translate it in her head. She
Yeah,
just
she
No,
can't
bong.
not hear.
yeah,
Bong.
B-O-N, bong.
Yeah, she
Bong.
went, no, yeah, I heard you, bong.
Bong.
Yeah, sure, bong. Yeah. He is wild and one of my favorite characters because of just how ridiculous he is. But Mr. 3, awesome.
Mhm.
He's an asshole and a piece of shit and kind of a little bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
But awesome.
Character design, I think, is awesome. Because I think it's
He's
funny.
awesome and cool and bad. And a
Well, I
little
think
bit
his
of a
character
bitch.
design is funny. And I don't know. I just love every character I meet, like aesthetically.
Oh yeah, they all look great. I mean, like I said with Nami and like even some of the other characters, like Nami looks a lot different from a lot of the female characters, but now I'm finally seeing like individual like girls look different with like the different outfits and like it's just
But it will hit a
it's
point
fun.
later on where they all start to
blend.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh, they
really?
blend to me right now.
Oh.
Especially with the two
Vivi
females
and Nami?
in the team, they blend like
Vivi, yeah.
they look like twins.
except for their hair.
Yeah.
It's different.
Mm.
Yeah.
So if they have a hat on, I'm like, that's okay. Look for the tattoo. Look for the tattoo.
It's hard in manga, especially because it's black and white. At least
But
in
it's
the
like I
anime.
don't have a difficulty telling apart Usopp, Sanji, Zoro.
Oh, no.
They all have very distinct features.
Mhm. Yeah.
But they blend. I don't want to say they stand out now. So they blend in even more as it goes on.
I mean, other characters. Yeah.
Mm.
But Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine return, and that's obviously who put the explosive in the ale.
Yes.
And that's what
Definitely
you were
what I
saying,
said.
Yeah, earlier.
Because if you interpret it as if she
Right,
did do
right.
that, and then,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes.
yeah,
It's all coming. Yeah.
it's kind of relative. It's kind of like art.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely,
it's
it's not
yeah,
kind
it's-
of like art. It is art.
Open to interpretation. Yeah.
It's
Open to
literally art.
It is literary art.
It's literary.
It's also literary art, yeah.
Literary art.
Literary
Yeah.
art.
Yeah. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
And yeah, the volcano explodes and they have to go off to battle. And now Dory obviously is in so much pain. Luffy fucked him up. I mean, he's bleeding everywhere, but he is bound by honor and he's going to go fulfill his end of the bargain, which is like doing this for however long it takes until there's a clear victor. He like picks up a mountain or a house or whatever, something gigantic, and sets it on top of Luffy so Luffy can't go after him. And this is where Luffy and who Luffy is again comes through, right? Because he is so furious. And Usopp on the other side is also furious. Nami doesn't get it, and Vivi maybe does more get it, but they both just like Usopp and Luffy are like, who is doing this? And Luffy even more so is like, this is not right. Like this is not how
pissed.
it should be. Yeah.
Luffy's like, who is getting in the way of this? Like they both wanted to see them fight for glory and honor, and it's so funny. Like,
Well, they're just bound by it themselves. I mean, they see like such like Usopp especially sees such glory
yeah.
in honor, and I get it. You know, honor's dope.
Have you fought for honor?
Yeah, sure, yeah. I've fought for my own honor before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not for necessarily anybody else's honor.
How about
Haven't
you?
you?
Cody?
Maybe.
Isn't that how you got stabbed?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how
you
got
forgot about the time where
stabbed.
you got stabbed defending someone's honor?
But that guy was just being like, that guy just liked knives, and he was just trying to be funny.
He was
There's
trying to
people
be a
that
knife
like
guy.
knives.
Yeah,
but,
he was, because everybody knows a knife guy
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, I feel like Cody might have been in it.
I was a fire guy.
Yeah, but
Oh.
you're
I
like that's
burned
adjacent to
things.
the knife guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's worse.
everybody knows
Fire's beautiful. It's not worse. Knives are worse.
fire's more dangerous.
Yeah.
It's pure and cleansing.
Okay, relax. Yeah, everybody knows a knife guy. Everybody knows a fire guy, and everybody knows a guy who has like a death note. You know what I mean?
The three elements.
Yeah.
The three elements of
And Death
weird
Note
kids.
is
And samurai
definitely
swords.
Death Note is definitely the least worrisome.
But one
out
man
of the troop.
combined all of them.
Cody
Death
Decker.
Note.
Cody Decker.
Fire.
Yeah, it's like the
Knives.
Avatar. It's like the Avatar opening.
Samurai swords.
But when the manga community needed him most, he vanished.
And I believe he can save them all.
And it's Cody, dun, 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 right, with like a samurai sword.
Just staring
fire.
blank vacantly into fire, being like,
Yeah.
He's like
You and
opening his
Farnese have that in
locker.
common, by the way, dude.
oh yeah, that's
You
why.
have a lot in common with Farnese.
She's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, you like her.
Yeah, I seeing her like obsession with fire. I'm like, I mean, we all had a fire phase, right?
No.
No, I didn't.
No. No.
When my in my magic days, I used to have this thing called flash paper. That it's paper you can light on fire, and if you throw it up, it disintegrates, disappears, nothing falls down. It just
That we've all seen Now You See Me.
yeah, but I was on it before. Now you see me, dude. I don't like what they did to the magic community.
Where they made them wizards.
Well, yeah, they made them wizards, but also they just like they popularized a lot of things that we were just holding on to ourselves. Like the Monarch playing cards, which I have a deck of right up here actually.
You have all the things you like the most just out of frame of the cameras.
but I can grab these, dude.
Oh, look at that. Look at a magic trick in itself.
These
He pulled
Monarch
it from
playing
off
cards, dude, they were my favorite playing cards. And then Now You See Me, they were in Now You See Me.
Okay, this isn't the magic corner.
Yeah, and they just got expensive and everybody wanted them. And that's the end
Oh,
of
no,
my
you can't buy more.
Yeah, that's the end of my
I mean,
story.
why would you need to buy more?
That's
You
also...
got
Do you have a deck?
bricks of cards. Like if you buy it, you don't buy one deck, you buy bricks of decks. Because you damage them, you hand them out, you
I
wear
guess
them
that's
from
true.
use.
Mm.
It's not the magic corner though. Stay tuned for the Patreon episode where it might be.
Yeah, oh my god, please.
Anyway, yes.
hitting my head on
So
this.
set out for battle. Everybody's
Yeah, and
injured.
I
Luffy's
know,
upset.
I know you gave a look when I said I don't believe anyone dies, but I saw the other giant get he lost the fight after getting his stomach blown up and Luffy knocking him out and then getting stabbed. I'm like, he's not dead. I did not believe for a second he actually died
Yeah.
because it's so fun to not have people die. But did you believe it at all?
Yeah. I can't say I bought that necessarily either, but that's not a maybe that's more reason to kill them off, but it's not a huge character. So
No, he is.
Well, he's literally is, but I guess
In the scope of
terms
the story.
the scope of the story, yeah.
He's only in this little garden.
Yeah, that's why
he's
it's
a little
like,
part of the story of the garden of One
it was
Piece.
I'm like, oh, this is a minor character that they're gonna never see again, or he'll pop up and be like, it's me back, but whatever. But it was just I don't believe they're even gonna kill off this guy.
Yeah, but just wait, just hold on to your britches.
Mhm. They're gonna kill off a guy that was like, oh, remember him of 500 chapters ago? He died. Like, oh my god, no. Not 500 chapters ago, guy.
Point is, Luffy's passionate, okay? He's yelling, he's screaming. He's like, who the fuck did this? I'm going to find him.
Screaming.
And I love passion, okay? I'm all about passion. If you don't got passion, if you can't handle the passion, get out of the kitchen or whatever people say.
Get out of the fruit. Passion fruit.
I guess.
Pash.
Pash
They're
fruit,
both.
dude.
That's
No. At least, at the very least, I fit the theme.
at the very least.
Yeah, I was talking about fruit. I'm talking about One Piece.
Yeah.
No, and I appreciate it.
Maybe we should put the shot collar on you, Josh.
Yeah,
You're not appreciating
I
my
think
jokes.
that would be a great idea, Megan.
Yeah.
It only works on
He's
Cody.
he's been on good behavior. I might
He's
switch
been
it.
on good behavior because he has a shock collar wrapped around his freaking neck.
I guess you're right.
The point is, I've been on good behavior.
Okay, well, if you can make it to the end of the episode, we'll take it off.
Mm-hmm.
I would really appreciate that. Can
Okay.
I be
Okay.
untied?
Not yet.
No.
Because I'm getting flashbacks.
Well, maybe you need to figure that stuff out.
Oh my god.
Anyway, also, like we're seeing, not necessarily Sanji. Sanji kind of goes MIA for a while, but we see Zoro and Nami going through the woods, and we see Zoro see Nami, I think, and Luffy see Nami see Luffy, but they're clearly something's up. There's
They're like smiling.
shadows.
They're
And
like
he's
smiling.
doing a Cabadon pose.
Yeah, and that's like not that is out of character.
Which I
for
will,
him.
yeah, like already seeing him smile like that with that pose, like that isn't what he would do.
So he's got a clearly defined character.
Yes, like every protagonist in the world.
Okay.
Which which is amazing though when they do it.
Thank you.
It's even better that he fits also the criteria,
I mean,
the bare minimum criteria,
you didn't need to add that last part.
which I didn't.
Okay.
So
All right.
I didn't.
Doppelgangers.
I was literally joking. It's
Mm.
fine. I was literally joking.
Oh, it was a joke.
Yeah, I was literally.
literally joking about literature.
Hell yeah, I'd high five you.
I'm sick. Well, you can't. We're not untitled.
Damn.
Doppelgangers are real. They're obviously they have something to do with Mr. 3. I mean, part of me thought for a second that it could have been Miss Golden Week because we don't know what her ability is yet or what her
Yeah,
devil
she's
fruit
kind of
power
just
is
hanging
yet.
out in the background.
Yeah. But then we see something that I'm sure traumatized Megan more than me and Cody. We saw Mrs. Or Miss Valentine and Mr. 5 coming out of the woods after they had like beat up and interrogated Karoo.
I gasped.
Yeah.
I gasped. I literally wrote, "No, Karoo, they're the worst. They're on my shit list forever."
Especially
they could have
that
done
flashback.
anything to any other character.
I did think that was one of the funnier moments of them interrogating the duck and
It's
the duck
awesome.
being like,
They
like refusing to give them up. Like he could,
I
like he
know,
could like
he's
rat them out.
Yeah, it was
He's
awesome.
like quack duck, and he like slaps him across
Yeah.
the face.
Well, no,
He's
he didn't
like,
want them to wrap them out. Yeah, he wanted them to quack super loud so that Vivi would come running after him.
yeah, and
the
he's
duck
just like,
was yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, Karoo, you sweet baby."
Probably, honestly, one of the funniest moments of what I've read of One Piece.
Yeah, and you know, back to the Mr. Five, the booger guy. I mean, in Oda's question corner, he even said that like when he came up with that idea, he's like, I couldn't stop laughing. I just thought it was the silliest thing ever. So I mean, it's just like, you know, more proof that he's just having so much fun.
He's
when he
silly.
makes
It's
it.
silly.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a booger power is silly. Like what?
I don't know. Sometimes
And
it
not
just doesn't feel like you like
childish.
silly.
I mean, it's not like hilarious.
Hmm.
It's brilliant in its intelligence.
But not
Mm.
That's why
Hilarious.
I'm
Not
not laughing,
hilarious.
is because it's so smart.
Got it.
Gotcha.
Got
Like,
it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Gotcha. And then, you know, Bragi and Dory fight, and because of his injuries, you know, like you said, he gets killed,
Yeah.
defeated, we'll just say. And Dory has this whole, or Bragi has this whole speech about like, because he starts weeping, and
I
Mr.
know.
3 tells him like, "Are you crying because you're wrapped up in victory? Like I helped you. Like that wasn't you, that was me." And Bragi tells him like, "I'm not crying because I like won. I'm crying because Mr. 3 also says like, you didn't hold back." And he goes, "That would have been the most dishonorable thing I could have done." Like he was willing, injuries and all, to face me and to uphold his end of the bargain. Had I not given him everything, it would have been disrespectful to the effort that he was putting in, which is just like awesome. And even Mr. 3 is like, "Huh, what?" He doesn't, like, he is like, yeah,
Dumbass.
he doesn't understand it or get it, and is kind of blown away by it. But also super cool moment.
Yeah,
the
what
Giants
that's
are great.
that's when he says like, was it 73,467 battles and 1 win, and he's like crying, and I was like,
Yeah. And then we get to a really goofy but fun part of this arc, and that is that it's revealed that Mr. 3 is involved with the doppelgangers, obviously is the one creating them, and has tricked Zoro, Nami, and then Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine capture Vivi, and Mr. 3 reveals that his ability is that he can excrete wax.
And control its material hardness, and
Mhm.
because it's not just wax, you can make it the consistency of metal.
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh no, but he can't swim. You know, I'm like,
I mean,
I like the candelabra, the pumpkin candelabra, though. That was cool. I was like, ooh, just in time for Halloween.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
The candelabra was fun, and also like it was nice to see Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine now, because again, because of the way everybody split up, it's fun to see them and their abilities again, because Miss Valentine had such a cool ability to change her weight. And she didn't even get to use it in the last fight because Luffy and Zoro's fight broke theirs up. So now we get to see them, especially her, use it. And when that scene where she's like sitting on Usopp and she's like, "I'm 10 kilograms, I'm 20, I'm whatever." That was just a really fun way to see her use it, and she uses it in other ways too. But the candelabra, Zoro, Nami, Vivi, all
which
wax is starting to rain down on them.
was like, oh okay, so they're like a lot of characters will end up doing nothing. Once again, I'm like, I'm really looking forward to seeing, because I love all of them so much.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking forward to seeing a situation where they all contribute to a fight, instead of like, and now half of them are not going to do anything.
Right.
Zoro does shine in like his humor in this scene, but you're
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it's always got to be someone's got to fall asleep, someone's got to like be taken out, someone's got to be like to get turned into wax statues.
and I think that that's going to continue for a little while longer. I don't truly know if it's because the mangaka wants to give us a sense of the characters like on their own, but I do think that there will inevitably come a point where they all do sort of start to work as a unit in their entirety, and not just like 4 of them and then one of them's missing even. But
like you said, I mean, it's a device, because if all of them are doing something, it would just be like a lot happening.
But I think what
at
Cody's
once.
saying is that he's read stories with, just as many characters, and there are sequences that involve all of them and actually show how they all play off each other.
Yeah, that's right, Josh.
Thank you.
I feel like I'm a book guy also. There's a
You?
great yeah.
Don't, Megan. Why would you even?
Yeah.
You just opened you opened French doors.
I open giant-sized doors.
did?
There's a series like Helldivers or Aeronauts Windless that has like teams of up to like 6 people.
Oh, we could use it for that too.
And in every situation, I mean, that's what's interesting about the stories is you see like how does this team handle this thing? And the reason that team is needed is because they all, the threats they handle require all of them to work together. That's what makes it satisfying when they accomplish their goals. Versus if every time they fought someone, half of them like fell asleep or like someone always kept not doing something, it's not nearly as I don't really, they're not, it's like, oh, those two guys work together. I think Luffy and Usopp have fought together already. Like it's not even a different combo,
Yeah. But we've seen them all break off into, I think, very different small teams. I do believe there's going to be a battle situation where they all do have to band together.
And I'm looking forward to seeing it because I don't like if a team always requires half of them not doing something.
And I get that. And you're right. Zoro's humor still does shine through. He poses. Before he poses too, before they even know that Luffy and Usopp are going to come to their rescue, he's looking at Broggy, who's laying on the floor and slowly getting covered in wax, and they're giving up. Basically, they're just throwing in the towel. The wax is coating their lungs, and it's coating the outside and inside of their body. And
It's like House of Wax. Did you guys see that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
It's like,
Crazy.
it's a villain. He's going to turn you into a wax statue. And he's wax.
He's wax? He's made of wax?
Yeah. He's a whole house of it. House of Wax.
He's
House of
made
Wax, and it's this place, right? We're all wacky.
I thought you were saying like we're all whack.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
he
whack
said
is-
wacky. You said whack or wacky?
Whack is like you suck. Wacky is like you're kooky.
Well, it's House of Whack because we're wacky.
But
It's House of Wacky.
It's got to be House of Wacky.
But,
then.
okay, what do you call multiple wacky people? You would call them wax.
You would no.
Yes, you would call them, it's a gaggle of wax.
A gaggle of wax?
Yes.
That
Look it up.
sounds like...
You don't call them. The only thing you call a gaggle is what you're going to be doing to me later.
Oh, God. There's no subtlety.
Damn, Josh? No
I was
subtlety
gonna
at
go in a
all.
completely
No,
different
like
direction.
symbolism, no, like metaphor.
Gaggle.
Ooh.
More like...
Ooh. I was going to go a completely different direction, and then I abandoned it and went right for it, straight for the kill.
Hilarious.
Just giving people insight, into the
Into the mind.
We both did it. But yeah, and Zoro tells Broggy, like, we can't give up. If we're gonna die anyway, fuck it. I mean, let's go all out. And so he's like, I'll cut off my legs right now.
I just love...
Oh,
sorry.
No, go.
I just love how like nonchalant he is, because like it's like kind of happening a little like faster, and Nami and Vivi are always like, "Oh my god, we need to get out of here," and Zoro's just like for half the time not even saying anything, just like standing there assessing the situation. Yeah, and then he says, "I'm gonna cut off my legs."
Does he start posing after?
After,
and then like, I'm gonna cut off my legs, and even the people are like, don't.
What
he's
the
not gonna
fuck?
do that. And I'm like, oh well, he's just gonna cut the wax, right?
Yeah.
Because it's first of all, it's wax, and aren't his swords like magical?
Not magical. but
Cursed.
they're-
Curses are magic. I don't-
Well, curses are not necessarily magic. Most of the time they are, but if you really want to break it down,
How is a curse not magic?
because it depends on what kind of curse it is. You could put a magical curse on something, or you can just like curse it in
Like swear words?
What about curse words?
Not like that.
Yeah. What
But,
about
like,
curse
when
words?
you curse something, it's more of like the energy you're giving something as opposed to
So like
this-
influencing magic, using supernatural forces. That's magic.
No. Help me out in the comments. Thank you. Guys.
Okay,
Wait,
here we
where's
go.
the-
The
where's
difference.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? Oh yeah. Well, while they are cursed, they're actually not magical per se.
Yes. Thank you for
Yeah.
having my back.
Point
I
is,
already-
he has super swords, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna use their shock to cut around the wax, and then they cut to him like literally like he's like, I cut halfway through my
Halfway.
Yeah, he literally
which-
hacks, and I'm like, they need you. You are their fighter. What are you doing? Like Luffy's the fighter, obviously too, but like without Zoro, it's just Usopp and Luffy.
Mhm.
Sanji's pretty dope. Too.
Sanji is
He's just not
he's
there.
Yeah, he's-
strong. He's like kicking dinosaurs' ass and shit. Like
Yeah.
I was like, what is this man?
Yeah. But it's funny because he's posing. He's like, because Luffy and Usopp show up, so he's like, all right, well, we're saved. So I'm also gonna just like, I guess, just pose because if for some reason we aren't saved, then at least I'll look cool. Because like Mr. 3 also wants them to look terrified right before they turn to wax because that's his art, you know.
You sacrifice everything for your art.
Yeah, dude, and you got to respect that. You got to respect an artist's vision. And it's a fun fight. I mean, Luffy and Mr. 3 have a fun fight. This is before he gets Mr. 3 gets his upgrade later, but he has this move where he'll like, you know, throw essentially a candle that'll like lock around your legs or arm, and Luffy just uses that as a hammer, and you know, he does what Luffy does. Stretches, and it's fun and it's great. But
it's fantastic.
Thank you, Cody. But what happens is the more important thing is after he beats Mr. 3, you know, gets, you know, hit and flies off. And then he has this moment because the time is ticking. Like he has to save them. At some point he says they have 30 seconds left to live. And then of course that turns into 5 minutes, it feels like later. But he finally has the opportunity to save them. And then he goes, I can save you, but I just don't want to. Yeah.
Which was first was hilarious. Charming. It shows
you already used those words. Try to like
Luffy, because he's not a hero. You know,
he is a hero.
No, he's a pirate, and he's not a hero.
Because you passed.
Because if he does something wrong, it's because he's not a hero, right? So he's a pirate. He's for freedom, and he believes in setting his own way. And what better example of a good captain than someone who does not put the safety of their crew as his highest priority?
But it wasn't.
What greater leadership value?
That's the point. At first I read it, I was like, okay, no way. That would be insane. But it wasn't because of
It wasn't because of him. It was because of what Miss Golden Week was doing to him.
Yeah.
She had these little they kind of reminded me of like some sort of alchemist circle or spell circle or whatever. That whatever sign with whatever color she drew out that emotion or drew out that emotion.
This is during the 30 seconds he has to save them?
Yeah. Yeah. And at one point, I mean, even that is played for comedy because the first one, she makes him kind of like it's black, which is betrayal. And then like he also gets like depressed. And then one is like red that attracts bulls. So he's like attracted to that sign and he can't do anything out of that sign. Then she paints one on his back. And when Usopp and Karoo brush past him, they mess up the symbol. And then he's freed from the spell, and then she does it again, and then they have like a tea party.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny.
I did too.
It was like kind of like this, so it was flowing really well. The tea party part, I was like, that was good.
Yeah,
he's just sitting down, and all of them are like, "What are you doing, you freaking idiot?"
Yeah, and the whole time this is all happening, Usopp and Karoo are fighting Miss Valentine and Mr. 5, which is where we got to see their abilities shine and stuff. But a lot of these, you know, chapters are just fights, and they were fun and they were cool because Karoo and Usopp are hilarious together.
Oh my god, I love that combo. My favorite.
I love them together. But what's also very interesting, and I think Cody, even you will appreciate this, is that something that was small and something that was like played for a gag that you really liked, comes back in a very big way.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
The spicy bullet.
Yeah, that was dope.
When you have a guy who's like, I just keep eating explosives.
Yeah.
and
he's even like,
that wasn't a bomb. I'm a liar. It was my pepper bomb.
Yeah, he's even like putting boogers or spitting into like the barrel of a gun and using that.
That was cool. Yeah.
That was cool. But I mean, you got to appreciate the forethought at least, or at least the maybe it wasn't forethought, but he did pay off the payoff at least.
Yeah, like the thing is like, yeah, like that's like good. It's just like the way it's like you see people talk about it, where it's like no other story does this. It's like, yeah, this is like what stories do. It's not like mind blowing. It's like that's what that's like just basic like foreshadowing.
It is. That's why there's a word for it.
Yeah.
Because it happens so often, people need to know what to call it.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing, yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, just like the attitude of like, isn't like how it's treated like in One Piece. It's like, that like nothing does something like this. And it's like, it's the most brilliant storytelling ever. It's like, it's fine. Yeah, they set something up and there was payoff. There's it is way better when One Piece does it, though. Is what I'm saying.
Because One Piece is also simultaneously having the most fun. I think it's always never taking itself too seriously while also just doing what it does, which is so unique so well. And I think you, Cody, would agree with that 100% and have no issue with anything I just said.
Well, yeah.
Thank you. Anyway, well, moving on, we're kind of almost to the end of this like big fight.
This is all the 30 seconds.
Yeah. And I know. Okay. I don't need to hear it. I get it. Okay. I see it on your face. Your body language, even though you're tied up, still comes through.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
get it.
cool.
It's not cool.
You know me that well?
I do know you that
He knows
well.
your body.
We're
well.
such good friends, gang.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you
Rago and Dory.
could probably untie me. Yeah.
No, not yet.
No.
We still have maybe
Maybe a couple minutes. Don't worry about
couple minutes.
it. Don't look at the time. The candle champion. Mr. 3 comes back as the candle champion.
Mr. 3 worldwide.
Mr.
Mr. 3
Worldwide?
Oh,
6'5".
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was good.
Dale.
With a wax mecha suit that like is made of like steel,
It's
Yes.
just hard.
It's
you know?
just hard.
It's just hard, dude. It's
and he
just
paints it, or he can change the color.
Miss Golden Week paints it.
That was a
Yeah.
funny gag.
That was funny.
Of like that's done too now. Now I can really go.
Yeah. And I thought, he meant like paint symbols on him. That's what I thought. Like, oh, this is gonna make me stronger. This is gonna make me angrier. But he literally meant just like paint this for me.
Yeah,
It's
to make it look like it's metal.
Yeah, to make it look cool too. And they have their fight, and then they realize, which to Cody and to some people might seem silly, but then they realize that, oh yeah, duh. Even though this is all fantastical and it's devil fruit powers, it is just still wax. And Usopp, realizes that if he can, like, with fire, burn the shirt off Luffy to get rid of the symbol and burn the wax, that he can melt it. And so I think it was his plan. He like douses a rope in gasoline and has Karoo run all the way around the candelabra. And then once Luffy grabs hold of Mr. 3's head that's on fire, his little candle, he just dips it into the rope, and then the whole candelabra lights on fire. Because earlier they had taken it down, but the candelabra was high, and then they knocked basically the trunk of it, and so it just became lower and made them waxier faster. But now this time it's
Waxier, faster.
waxier faster.
That's a good name for it. We could open up a wax shop.
Yeah, it's a
Waxier,
good name.
faster.
It is like, it feels good. saying it.
Faxter.
If you're just
Waxy
listening, whether it's audio
Waxy
or on
facts?
YouTube, just say that out loud.
Waxy or faxier?
Waxier faster.
Waxy or faster? Waxy her faster?
Yeah, it just feels nice, right?
Whack.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
Yeah.
Continue that train of thought you were on. Say it out loud.
This part was also like
Let them hear it.
a little like why include it? I guess like it didn't bother me.
Because
Thank you.
it's
Tell me.
brilliant.
Well,
No, it's-
maybe
I
actually,
mean,
Cody,
Can you go more in depth?
I'm gonna tell
It
you what
doesn't
I'm
need to
talking
go in
about.
depth.
I'm gonna tell you what I'm talking about, and then I
Yeah,
want
because
you.
I don't even know what specific part you're talking about.
I want you to tell me why it needs to be there and why it is necessary and why it is
All
good.
right, yeah.
Okay.
I would love to do that.
I know
yeah.
you would. I mean, Luffy's beat Mr. 3 twice now. He beat him,
But
like Team Rocket.
The tension is still up there.
Sure.
It's
Even
Oh.
I might not completely agree.
how
with that.
dare you? Because it's brilliant.
Okay. And that's fair. And that's your opinion, not mine. But it's yours.
Ooh. Okay.
Mr. 3, Team Rocket, blasts off. Then he comes back, in his candle mech suit, right? Then he gets defeated again. Then he runs away. And then there's this, spread or this huge panel of these doppelgangers, all of them in
Yeah.
the woods. And then you're thinking that he's like, you'll never guess. And it's funny. It's funny. But then Luffy immediately attacks the very first one, and it's him. And it's
And
over.
It was
And
oh, go ahead.
No, you go first,
You go
'cause- yeah.
because
I think it was due to, obviously it was one too many times where he's getting defeated.
That's
Like
the rule of Mr. 3.
3. Okay, that might be it. Oda's a madman, so
He's
you
a
never
genius,
know.
yeah.
But I think that it was just to play up, like, he said, like, you won't guess, you never guess. And he goes, how'd you know? And he goes, instinct. And that's like a big part of Luffy's character is just like instinctually like doing things. Not all things. I'll give Cody that one. But in most
Well, he
situations.
does act on his gut and only his gut.
Yes.
Well, that's
so
where-
instincts are important.
So
to
yeah,
Luffy.
always.
A part where I was like, how will people defend this? Because it's like, it was setting up an interesting dilemma, which I will defend it. It was setting up an interesting thing that
Well, can you do me a favor? First, can you give me like, not your opinion, but what a negative opinion would be?
like hypothetically.
Like hypothetically.
Okay.
And then give me Cody Decker's.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll do a hypothetical opinion, which is like you have a character who's trying to set up a foil system of like, you don't use tactics, you're just on instinct. Therefore, like you're really going to be challenged. And instead of Luffy being forced to think about something, he's just right. And he's like, it's instinct, but it's like, instinct doesn't make you able to just tell that. And it completely undoes any like moment that your character could have had. And it's like, is that satisfying? Or you're like, yeah, like that is so cool that he was just right. And it's like, I don't know if you would call it instinct so much as like, he's the main character and he's just right and all the time. And he's just so cool and powerful.
Mm-hmm. Now
to the
tell me
point-
what you think about it though.
I think it's hilarious that he just got it right. Because, you know, Luffy's a man of action. He doesn't think. He just does it. So by being a man of action, he can outsmart people who try to use intelligence by just being right.
Uh-huh.
Should there be any, you know, focus on like what he did, some sort of moment to highlight him as a character? Absolutely not, because that's boring. And what I much prefer in any character is for victory to be handed to them. It's fantastic. Could you have him even use his powers in a way to knock them all out at once, which is something he absolutely could do? No. What you want to do is just kick him, and we're done.
Now say Luffy's the greatest character in any media.
I'll say that because he is.
Wow, Cody, you really like. Oh man, you got me so pumped, dude. I'm so pumped up right now. Dude, Mr. 3 defeated, right?
And I was like, the third time, I was
Can't
like,
breathe.
edge of my seat. Is he gonna beat up the guy he's beaten up twice already,
Right.
with no real sense of danger to him?
Yes.
And he
Yes,
did it again,
he
and
did
I
it
was like,
again.
that's what makes him captain.
And boy, was I hooked, man. Now we shift from the gang, from the Straw Hats a little bit. And now we finally see, like, Cody even forgot this character existed. We shift to Sanji and we see what Sanji's been up to. And Sanji was roaming around the forest.
and he sees a house made of candle wax. He goes, "What's this about?"
Mm-hmm.
And then he walks in and he's like checking it out. And then we see the snail phone again. And guess who's on the other line?
Mr. Zero, which is also, somebody called you that, right?
They called me a lot of things, but I don't think Mr. Zero was one of them.
Mm.
What about just Zero?
Mr. 0 out of 10.
Sorry about that.
No,
What
it's
were you gonna
hilarious. Well, have they? Because it's like, oh, it's snail phone, but it's like, that's funny because snail mail is a term.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I don't think they,
Maybe it's a play on that, though.
that's why I'm like, well, it would be like via mail.
No,
you know?
but maybe it's like his little twist on it. You know?
If it's voicemail,
Like his homage to snail mail.
voicemail.
like if it was like, you can record a message and it's like, oh, you have a voicemail on the snail, it's snail mail
Mm-hmm.
instead of voice because it's via snail.
Mm.
Yeah, they could do that. But they're communicating through the snails,
Yeah.
Mm.
which is cool. I mean, are you saying you have a problem with that or?
I mean, I don't.
Hypothetically?
Hypothetically,
would you see
I'd be
someone have a
like,
problem
sure,
with
like
it?
who gives a shit? Like, I don't.
But what do you think?
I think it's hilarious.
Okay.
Because it's like
What?
snails.
Like, everything being hilarious.
This whole series is okay. It's ethereal.
That's a little much, but okay.
It's cerebral.
Okay, that's
I like
enough.
that. I like
It's-
that. Yeah.
It's a very and let's keep going though. Let's keep the momentum. Much like One Piece never stops with the momentum.
Never stops with the momentum. You're absolutely right. Sanji takes the call. It's Mr. Zero. He's like, "Did you take care of
Mr.
the
Zero, your girl.
Sure.
Mr. Zero
Nah,
girl.
Megan
It's
liked
Mr.
it.
Zero girl. Oh, hey yo. Hey,
And he
yo.
says, I took care of them. Don't worry about it. And he's like, good, because the Unluckies are on their way. The Vulture and the Otter are on their way to deliver the Eternal Pose to Alabasta. And I want you to meet me here ASAP. Okay. Then the Unluckies come in. Sanji has a fight with
Love
them.
them.
I
Love
love
that.
them too.
I love that little encounter. I
Yeah.
was so happy to see them. I drew them.
Oh, yeah. Show it to the camera.
I drew them
Show that thing that never
Right.
shows.
right here.
You can kind of see it in the corner. You can kind of see it.
I drew
You
them
can
and they're
see
so funny. And then Sonya's just like, what the hell is this? They're in the window and they're just like,
Yeah. And he beats the shit out of him pretty easily. He takes the
Yeah.
turn pose. But what's interesting is Mr. Zero says, what was that? And he says, oh, the Straw Hats were actually still alive and I had to take care of them. And he's like, but you said you completed your mission. And he's like, no, I did, but this time I really did. And he's like, okay, well, meet me in Alabasta. And then they hang up. And then he tells Mrs. All Sunday, I'll find him on his way somewhere in between here and kill him because he lied to me.
yeah.
And that's like supposed to show the intensity of him. And also, I don't know if you guys caught this, like his devil fruit ability also has something to do with what was happening with the rose and the glass or the flower in the glass. Did you guys notice that as he was stirring the liquid in the glass, it was draining the liquid, but the flower was also dying at the same time.
He has the
death.
suck fruit.
Which is a fruit that I
You ate a whole buffet of those.
I ate the whole tree.
Ate the whole tree.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sucked it right down.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Which was really cool. I mean, Mr. Zero is going to play obviously a huge part later, and he's one of the 7 warlords. Like, keep that in mind. He's one of the 7 warlords.
I just know that a guy that is 2 levels below him is 0 threat to Luffy solo. So I'm like,
yeah, but they're always.
as far as, I mean, hypothetically establishing threats and like even when you put a number value on it, you just like 2 people that are weaker than him, 2 ranks below, not a threat at all to like Luffy.
But he is finding people, and he even says like people are replaceable. Like, I don't think he's really like these are his guys that he has like chose to be. They're just people who are strong enough, and that he's just he's rotating his ranks constantly because he just doesn't care. They're expendable. He doesn't keep anybody around. So I think is the gap between even number 1 and him is huge.
I guess I'll find out. But
You
the
absolutely
guy who has his hair done in a 3, which I would assume means 0, he's like, I'm gonna be the 3rd guy for a while. You know, you want to get a hair,
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
you want to do a hairdo if you're like, but maybe I'll move up.
Maybe he was so stoked about it.
Yeah, it's a
though.
fashion choice. It's his name.
Yeah, well, I get why he. Yeah, I get
No,
why
but
he has.
you're saying
Yeah.
that like he wouldn't want to go anywhere, but maybe maybe it's easy to change it to a 2. You know, like he didn't cut his hair that way. He just maybe took a ponytail and like like maybe put some really strong gel in it and just like wired it that way. So it'd be easy to change it to a 2.
Oh, well, maybe he used his wax.
That's what
To-
he did.
to-
Oh,
to
hair
shape it.
wax.
That's what he did.
Good one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he was on wax.
He was on wax.
Isn't that a term?
It's like a weed thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or you can say put it on wax. You know.
Yeah.
That's a term.
Isn't that a term?
We also get to catch up with Captain Smoker and his crew. We see
Yes.
what they're up to, which we haven't seen them in a long time.
Yeah, feels like.
Oh yeah, and the beginning pages that shows like the glasses guy,
Yeah.
Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, he's starting to work out, which I'm assuming means now he's gonna start coming into the story. Now
Yeah.
that he has abs, it's like okay, he's gonna start doing something soon.
Yeah.
Because I'm unclear on like what even like his friend got kidnapped by the guy escaped, and then they got back and they went back to doing like janitor work, and
Yeah.
then they started working out.
Mhm. They're like training now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like before they were just like what do you call it? Swabbing the deck.
Chore boys.
Chore boys. And now they're swole boys.
Swabbing the deck. Huh. Sounds like a fun night.
Your memoir.
Oh.
Sounds like my memoir would be good. Yeah.
Yeah. Swabbing the deck.
Swabbing.
That's pretty cool. We gotta remember that.
Yeah.
Captain Smoker and his crew have intercepted the transmission and the conversation that Sanji had with Mr. Zero. Conveniently, all they heard was Straw Hats, Alabasta, Princess Vivi, Baroque.
That's all you need.
You know, they heard,
they heard the
Yeah.
most important parts of the conversation.
well, they also heard the things that would make it seem the worst.
Yeah.
That would make the conversation seem the absolute worst. Which is that the Straw Hats are working with Baroque and that they are working with that organization, that they kidnapped Princess Vivi, that they're in charge of or responsible for what's happening in Alabasta. So now Captain Smoker wants to find him even more.
He
And I
wants
love
to
those
smoke
guys.
him out.
He wants to smoke him out.
Oh.
He wants to hotbox the Grand Line.
The whole Grand Line.
The whole Grand Line. Dude, that's how he does
Assemble
it.
his second in command, the guy who ate the toke fruit.
Toke.
Well, his second in command is the is the
Yeah, I'm
sword
making
girl.
it's a weed joke.
Yeah, but dude, people are already
Oh, right.
like
That's
he
not
actually already has a second in command.
Oh, right.
The munchy fruit.
That's not the
That's
character.
not the
That's not
character.
a real character.
That's not a character.
The
She is
nug
the
nug
sword-
fruit.
She is
No.
the swordsmith. And she is the swordsmith, and she's, I'm assuming gonna have a fight with Zoro at some point because she's the one who gave him his swords.
Yeah, she
Or
definitely
helped him
wants
pick
to
him out.
beat his ass.
Yeah. And honestly, we're really at the very, very end. Captain Smoker intercepts the transmission. The gang reunites. The Straw Hats all reunite.
The Giants.
And
The
Dory.
Giant's like, oh, I was asleep. I'm like,
Dory
yep.
and
and
yeah.
he
Matt,
cries.
So
He
sweet.
cries and hugs him. I'm like, of course you would have this type of relationship with someone you've been fighting for 100 years.
It's
Like,
beautiful.
of course they're friends. Like, they were friendly with each other. Like, it's lonely on the island. Just wait till they fight. Like, obviously they talked. Obviously they hung out.
Well, and
And
also
they would
we-
just fight.
We
Did
heard that
that-
they were on a pirate crew together. They were both captains of the pirate
Yes.
Yeah, like when they meet up and hug, like, were you like, oh, I didn't see that happening with
No,
those characters?
I thought that they. I mean, I assumed that they were like on friendly terms, like already, like not like maybe like rivalry, like definitely like a rivalry. Because they even say like, why were we fighting again?
Yeah.
Like they don't even remember, and they're stuck on this island with a bunch of dumbass dinosaurs and tigers that they have to fight, and it's like, what
It's,
you would want some company?
It's similar to Blood Feuds, which is like, well, it's a historical thing. If we're talking about like, oh, what is this
Okay.
a thing for, right? Because Blood Feuds
Thought it
were
was a book.
a thing of like because in old times without like established authority systems of punishment, everyone was so far away that like it was just if someone wronged you, you got to wrong them back. But if
Hell yeah.
if you wronged them worse, they then got to wrong you for as much as you did excessively of that, and that could
That's
go.
how it should work.
That could
dude.
go on for years until eventually, like, every tribe gets together and then they'll do the math and be like, okay, well, all right, you owe them this much now because you wronged them a little bit more than they wronged you,
I
which
think-
Luffy would love
Yeah.
because it's about honor.
I love honor too.
Luffy would love Blood Feuds. He'd love them
I do too. I love him because I love honor
because it's, yeah.
and I love Luffy.
Yeah.
It would literally be like if they kill your son, like, you're allowed to kill their son.
Yeah, that's
But if you
awesome.
kill their son and daughter, now they're going to kill, now they get to kill your daughter.
an eye for an eye,
Yes.
It's really, yeah. I mean, yeah, it is that as simple as that. Eye for an
a
eye.
fruit for a fruit.
Fruit for a fruit.
Absolutely. But what is kind of funny here and kind of the nice, I guess, bow on the entire giant story is that when Zoro and Sanji meet up, they both say like, well, first of all, more important to the plot, Sanji gives them the Eternal Post to Alabasta. And now they know like, okay, well now we know we don't have to wait here for a year. Now we can just get there. So thank you for that. But the funnier side of that is that Zoro says, you didn't forget about our hunt, did you? And he goes, no, of course I didn't forget about our hunt. Like I caught something huge. And Zoro's like, okay, well, I mean, I caught something even bigger. And they get back to the ship and they're like, I caught a rhino, I caught a T-Rex, and they're both comparing. And then nobody cares. And Usopp's like, can we just call it a draw? Like, and they're like, no, we can't. We have to know who won. And Dory and Broggy are standing on a cliff and they're both looking down and they're saying like, oh, like that kind of like reminds me of something, but they can't really exactly remember what. And then as they're sailing off, there's this really cool scene that ends the whole arc. They do remember that the story is told. Their story is told.
And it's so wholesome.
It's
Like, are you
wholesome.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, it's like I thought like someone murdered someone. Like, it was just the most wholesome
But I
fight.
think that's what they want you to think. And I think it's
I
fun.
didn't. I thought it was like they had an argument over who made the best ale, and they're like, "We're gonna do." Like, I at no point believed it was like a serious thing, because it's great that it's not.
Yeah.
I liked that it wasn't. I liked what it was, and I liked it for what it was. But I mean, yeah, even the way they tell the story is that like the strongest, pirate crew and made of giants, captained by the two biggest men and strongest men, and basically until one little girl, ruined everything or changed
Which
everything.
is just the way it goes.
It is the way it goes. Which now the more I think about it, is like, can you explain?
Can you elaborate?
Well, why did you get upset? Do you consider yourself a small little girl?
No, I'm just curious at why
it's
everything bad
interesting.
starts with a little girl, Cody.
Well, I was just thinking that a lot of times in fairy tales, there's always a little girl.
Oh, I guess.
Eating porridge.
Eating porridge.
Jumping out of windows,
Going
and stuff,
to grandma's house.
getting trapped in towers,
Yeah.
climbing up mountains,
Breaking
with their
up
brother,
friendships.
breaking up friendships, looking for glass slippers
Selling her voice to an octopus
to an octopus.
So she can get some.
which,
so she can get some.
which, dude.
Literally, so she could get some.
Well, yeah, dude.
Yeah,
It's a joke.
it's not. That's what
No,
happened.
that's what happened.
That's the plot.
It's not a joke.
She saw a guy she thought was cute. It was like, yeah, I'll fucking.
Prince Eric, dude.
and he's very handsome.
Yeah, he's one of the cutest ones. It's like him and Aladdin.
Aladdin. I mean,
And then the Beast when he's just the Beast, though.
people don't give enough love to Jafar. That man's got cheekbones for days.
Jafar.
Dude.
No one gives love to Jafar because he's a creep,
He is
Josh.
a creep, but I mean, like those
No,
cheekbones. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you like cheekbones?
Oh, I don't know what this is, dude. You have like your cheekbones are like fine, but you act like they're like these like
Wow, you have
it's
like hard opinions on
Ooh,
this.
These, like,
wow,
because
this
you-
came out of
Yeah.
No,
nowhere.
you've brought it up
dude.
on the
Hard attitude.
podcast. You've brought it up on the podcast
Wow.
multiple times. And you're-
Multiple.
Multiple. Help me out. Go through the catalog, find the clips, clip them up, and they're good.
I think maybe like twice.
I'll acknowledge that you have good cheekbones.
Okay, I didn't even ask for this.
But on
You
previous
said
episodes,
what you like about Jafar's cheekbones. So
and
I
you
was
went,
clarifying.
"Oh, you like cheekbones."
I didn't do that.
It
I'm
was-
tied up.
and you're gonna stay that way unless you show me them cheeks
Oh.
and not cheekbones.
It's interesting that now that I'm tied up, you're being much more sexual towards
Yeah.
me.
It's not
Now that I-
interesting, and it's nothing
That
actually.
is true.
It's nothing actually. Don't look into it. Don't pick it apart. Don't even think about it.
Oh, God. What's going on?
Anyway, we're at the very, very end. Come on, guys. The Giants tell them all they got to do if they want to set sail for Alabasta is go straight. No matter what, sail straight. Don't change course. Believe in them. And of course, Luffy does. He's like, you got it. They have this badass
got it.
moment where they're like, they're not going to make it unless we take care of this thing. And they both have this thing about like their weapons and how much they love their weapons. And it's been with them for 100 years. And
Shouldn't Luffy have not let them determine their route?
he didn't let them determine their route.
They told him to go straight forward.
Well, they're going to Alabasta still.
And it says it on the
pose.
pose, yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're trying to do, but it ain't gonna work.
Well, it was like, so either they told him something he didn't need to know.
They're telling him something, and plus, like, A, they're his friends, and he trusts them, and B, they're not determining his route. They're just saying, on a 4-lane freeway, they're just saying, you're going on the same freeway, but just stay in the left lane, is all they're saying, or stay in the middle lane, or whatever. They're not telling him.
Well, the freeway metaphor makes it make more sense.
Really? You mean that?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, thanks. I got one this episode. But
Yeah,
anyway.
So it's like you could probably take the collar off me now.
Oh, is that why you did that?
No, it's just-
It takes away from it. Now I did feel a little good about it,
Yeah.
but then now that takes it away.
He's like trying to manipulate you.
Yes, he's
What you
very
should take
manipulative.
away is the rope.
Oh, you like it?
What? No. How did you get?
How did you?
Josh? Josh?
No, I thought you was trying to do reverse psychology. Like I like being tied up, and then I'd be like, okay.
I
well,
didn't say that at all.
he
you
said
were
I
thinking
don't
it.
want it on.
Is
He
that what you
said
said?
it multiple
Yes,
times.
I
said,
swear
yeah.
on like not even a bit. I heard that you like it. Not even a bit. Not even a joke.
You know, sometimes, Josh, you hear what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And I think that was a prime example of that.
That is how our brains work. Yeah, that's how memories are. That's how memories work. That's how everything works.
That
know,
you only hear and remember what you want to.
That's
constantly
If that was the
Scary.
case, I would not remember how I behave
You
at
are-
all.
You romanticize things from the past. You romanticize situations.
Yeah, but you
and-
can also make them worse.
sure, yeah.
Mhm.
But either way,
Mhm.
you're hearing something or remembering something that's
Mm.
not real, 100% real. You know,
No.
you just agreed with me, and then you just unagreed with me.
No, you're just hearing what you want to hear.
that you like.
That's a good save, but you still
that he likes ropes.
Yeah.
he does, but for other reasons. Let's be honest.
I'm not going to argue on that point. But
yeah.
everyone
get too
likes
dark.
ropes. That's
But anyway, I mean, I've been on the same bullet point for like 10 minutes. Sail straight. Well, beautiful speech about the weapons, like a farewell. They're friends. They love them. They're honorable. And as they set sail, the island eater, the big goldfish, swallows them.
And I love that line. Usopp's like, what? This sounds familiar. Where have I heard this goldfish story before?
Mhm.
Because he told that line.
he told it.
He did.
And I was like, oh, cute.
That's what it is. It's so, Oda pays attention and fulfills, and he delivers. And, Nami's like, we got to steer this way and steer this way. And Luffy's like, nope, we're going straight. They get swallowed up. And then, of course, this beautiful shot where it's like, they actually slice, the force of their slices blasts a hole through the sea monster. And then they, skyrocket out of it. And it's cool.
And just to clarify, what happened to Zoro's legs?
Oh, he wrapped him up. There's a panel where he's like wrapping him up.
Yeah, but he said he cut halfway through his legs.
Yeah, he did say that. But
I think maybe he just got like a little sliver.
No, he said halfway.
Okay, then that's insane.
He said that. And what I think is maybe the wax maybe acted like a cast or something,
Oh, that's a good way to think about it.
Yeah, but like if you halfway through, there's bone there.
Well, think about how thick your leg is. If you go from the front, your shin is like pretty right there.
It's infamously, we bump into those things all the time.
Yeah, so it's like
you cut halfway through your shin.
No, I don't think he was slicing through bone. So maybe he went from like the back.
He was cutting at his
ankle.
At his
thigh.
shin part. Yeah.
At his shin part.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shinji.
Was he? Oh yeah, because What?
Yeah. Shinji. Sure.
Shinji.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Anyway, come on. Let's bring it home. Help me bring it home.
We're on a journey.
The giants, they blast the hole. Everything's fine. They're setting sail for Alabasta. We see Mr. Two Bon Clay from the back, and he is flamingos, and he's very he looks like he's wearing some sort of ballerina getup. I love this guy. I love his design. He's gonna probably annoy the shit out of Cody, but I can't wait for that. And the final thing that happens is while everybody's relaxing on the ship, Nami gets sick, so sick she breaks into a fever, collapses, and
I wonder what it could be.
We need help. We need help. And that means they need a doctor. And who is their doctor?
Oh, that's why. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Somebody call a doctor.
And
what?
Never mind.
No, say it.
I was just going to ask if a character is the doctor, but I don't want to give it away.
I'm assuming it's the doctor that they met, whose whole thing is I'm a doctor.
Mm.
And then,
questions will be answered on the next episode. But before we wrap it up officially, I want to know. And Megan is like in pain. It seems. I want to know. And look. Maybe. Oh my God.
What even?
Oh, I'm staying on you. I want to know, and maybe we could take the collar off for this.
Okay.
And maybe we could take the rope off.
I swear to God.
Because I want to know really and truthfully and honestly what you thought about this arc. So, Megan, if you want to just take the collar off, and Cody, don't say anything yet. And if you want to take the rope off.
Oh.
Get a little stretch in.
Oh, stretching like Luffy over here.
Yeah. I want to hear your real thoughts on... I want to hear both of your real thoughts, but now that you're set free, Cody, you can go first. I want to hear your thoughts.
I mean, I'm trying to not let the way people talk about this series affect my opinions on it, because it just really annoys me. If a thing that does what stories do, but have it be presented in an essay format. You see that with Marvel movies, where it's oh, but they did, that did happen. This arc felt worse than the whale one.
Mm-hmm. It's his opinion.
It was also, it's just,
it would just shock the table.
Reading it, are you oh, I have no idea where the story's going to go with the whale. I have no idea where the story's going to go with the giants. I didn't see them reuniting at the end. Did you think they actually died?
I'll be 100% honest in my memory of, and we talked about memories earlier, but.
Did we?
Yes, dude. Yes.
Yeah.
I get the joke.
Oh, that's the joke we don't remember.
Don't remember what?
Shit.
Don't remember memory.
I read this, and I can recall upon first read, I like the Laboon story. I like the giant story. They do feel like parables, like fables. But, and please, I already hear the comments.
Mm.
But this those two stories do feel a lot like filler in a lot of ways. This is a manga, so of course none of it is filler technically, but
Whiskey Peak felt like the thing that set everything up.
it's moving. That's really moving the plot forward. Alabasta is where they're going, and these feel like side.
It's just like the guy in the chest. It was like that type of story.
Yes.
Yeah, it
Yes.
was just like a little like fun thing for them to do, and it's cute and it's goofy and funny, and you get little Luffy. You get a little hints of plot details in there, but it's not necessarily like super important for the main plot of the series or like what characters are going to get introduced later. The doctor thing is setting that up. So
Yeah, like if they left Whiskey Peak and then Naomi went, I'm sick. And they're like, oh, we're going to need a doctor. What changed?
Yeah, nothing. And that's what I mean. Like these do feel just like side quests on the journey to the main quest.
Which there's nothing wrong with side quests in a story. But when those side quests also have like, here's the main character's moment to shine of not having to use tactics in a fight and just keep doing what he's doing. You're like, what moment really shined that he kept beating up that guy?
It's the same thing that happens in anime movies because they're outside of continuity. A character can't really change in the movie. So something always happens where things are reset or the stakes, if they are high, are undone. And I guess it feels like that a little bit too, in the sense that like we're not learning a lot about the characters in this Little Garden arc. We're not getting new crew members. Like you said, like nothing is changing. Yeah.
I can give you a story comparison would be Don Quixote, which I said before. Like that's kind of how it he meets people. Don Quixote's doing his own thing, but that's not really the point. The point is that he finds interesting people on his journey that he's doing, and the stories will just go into their backgrounds for like chapters, and it'll just be about that person. And at the end, like all the people he's meet, like kind of like get together, and like there's like the finale of the story. But each story it does like also show you like who Don Quixote is, and like it shows you who that person really is, and they're also like very serious stories. Like,
and I think there will be those stories. Like, not to spoil anything, but I think Alabasta does a lot for Luffy as a character. I just don't think these do. And not to take away from them. They're fun and I enjoy them, but I agree with your criticism.
Like the log pose. They got it. They just got one. Like Luffy broke one. They had a different one. And then they go there and like, oh, it's like it
takes a year to set, to reset.
And then
or whatever.
Sanji, like he went over to the place and he got a new one. And like, okay, now we can leave after like a day. And they're like, we're gonna keep, and the guy is like, hey, the guy that they helped doesn't give them like new information either.
Mm-hmm.
He gives them like general advice, but it is like if they weren't told and keep going straight, what would that even?
Right. And what
like had he given more like specific advice that would like really like, oh, that changed, that like gave them this key that they need to keep going, it would have felt more useful.
I'm going to try to say this the best I can, and I'm probably maybe a little off the mark, but what I think it is like, while nothing's changing and while we aren't necessarily learning anything new about the characters, I think that the characters are learning lessons, and we are watching them learn lessons that will be
and how to work together.
And even though they're not really working together,
really work.
Usopp and Luffy.
They're
do they coordinate?
No, and that's what I'm saying. I don't 100% agree with that. But
and you brought up that Luffy doesn't really like with that fight. He doesn't learn anything. He doesn't learn to approach things differently. He's just like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm right.
And I understand what you're saying. And while I think that you can do that at the same time, because you are more informed on Luffy's like going with his gut, and who he is and why he's so passionate and what he's so passionate about. Like you are finding little things out. I do think you can find things out and move the plot forward at the same time. I don't think it's one or the other, but I think, and that's why I'm saying like I can't really articulate it, or I'm having a hard time articulating it. That I think that we're just watching right now. We're watching sort of the crew. We're watching them learn things that are going to be important later. Like they don't really mean anything right now, and they do seem like fables or life lessons or parables or whatever, fairy tales or side quests. But I think that they're learning things that are going to be very important later.
Because at the end of this arc, it's the giants that learn something.
Yeah, I guess you could say that they learn. What do they learn?
That's what, like, they learn about why they were even fighting.
No, they don't remember.
I thought they're like, oh, doesn't this remind you of something?
They kind of say that cheekily, and then they go, yeah, I can't remember. And then we, the audience, get there.
We're just giving. Oh, I thought that was them remembering the flash. We're just giving a flashback.
Yeah.
Well, Usopp, like,
it's like told from a But
Usopp learns more about like wanting to have glory as a warrior.
He does learn about that.
Does he learn? Oh, so that's why he's like he breaks up their argument about like who had the best thing, because he learned that it's not so great to be entirely focused on honor and glory when you can see how this just trapped these two people in it.
No, he's more obsessed with honor and glory now.
So, because you're like, the moral you would take is like the pursuit of honor itself like isn't good.
Well, that's not what this story was. That's not what the message is at all. The message of this story was that, like, yeah, the pursuit of honor and glory is honorable, I think. And I don't think the message was that it distracts you from the people or things that you should care about.
Like it wasn't that like, oh, isn't it tragic that like they're both pursuing it and now they're like they've abandoned whatever clan they were in, and
I don't think that was the message
they're
at all.
refusing to like move on, and they're literally stuck in this cycle that they wake up to every day, and now they're
but they're fine with it because they're doing it because of honor. They want to do it.
The game.
Their culture, whatever, wherever they come from, Elbaf, whatever. I think I think the message of it was painting it in a positive light. I don't think it was to learn from it, because the lesson they didn't learn was like, oh, we need to work together to help our friends. I mean, or we need to stop fighting. Like, they continued to fight.
And I think because of their weapons being broken, they don't have to fight. Is that correct? Because
of their weapons being, which that was a little weird to me too, I guess, and felt symbolic, right? Because they can't fight, but you can still fist fight.
Yeah, but that's not of honor. They both have to be.
It's the most honorable combat.
It kind of is, right? Because you're not relying on like other weapons and stuff.
Well, maybe it's just an excuse for them to be friends. And
because if their weapons break, and the moral isn't they're gonna stop fighting at the end.
It just didn't. I mean, maybe
that would have like, I don't know. Like, I would take from that of two people locked in this cycle of like of an endless battle of like, because like I have to do it for honor. You would be like, oh, doesn't this show how like it's not inherently good?
But also, I think, and maybe you're right. Maybe
and
you
the
are
dispute
touching
was over like who caught the biggest like mutant alligator.
Maybe you're right, because now what I'm thinking is like, okay, because I was gonna say, well, they didn't choose to break their weapons, but they did choose to break them by helping Luffy. So maybe they realized that was more important than helping. Than their battle of honor, but also like the reason they decided to help was because Luffy had so much honor and such a strong fighting spirit. So that's what I mean by like, it still doesn't feel like they learned that lesson.
Because like if it reinforces Usopp's like thing of honor, and then like the whole thing with Sanji and Zoro fighting over like who had the biggest kill or the biggest kills about like dinosaurs and stuff, and he's like, hey, break it up. Wouldn't he like be like, I'm for this like duel of honor?
Well, no, I mean, because he doesn't. I mean, in my memory, Usopp is so small. Like, it's played as like a background thing where because everybody has their opinion on. Oh, I don't care. Nami says I don't care. Vivi says like, why does it matter? And Usopp is on the very top of the ship, and he's very small. And there's a tiny word bubble, and his arms are folded in my memory, and he's leaning backwards, not even facing them, and he's like, can't we just call it a draw? It's not like he's like pleading with them about calling it a draw. So, but point is,
I mean, when the story,
but go ahead. Yeah,
if the story ends on realizing that like, oh, like those guys went through the same thing, and this crew isn't going through that, right? Like they almost did, and then it ends on like, why don't you just like Usopp goes, why don't you just call it a draw? If he's idolizing the people that like we are just shown behave a way that now he's like again, what's the point?
Because I get what you're saying, right? That yes, we're watching them potentially go through the same thing that these two people have been going through for hundreds of years, literally. So it's like history not repeating itself. Be careful, because otherwise you'll be battling for your entire life.
Like if the moral of Treasure Island is it's a good thing he wanted the treasure. You'd be like, what? Why would that be the?
I'm just saying it doesn't. I get what like the audience is supposed to learn. I get the lesson that the audience is supposed to learn, but I just don't feel like the characters learned any lessons. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
For this time around?
In this specific arc.
Mm.
Because I feel like Usopp wants glory and honor more now than ever. I feel like Sanji and Zoro, like they were arguing as the ship was sailing. So like they were already repeating what Broggy and Dory were going through. Luffy is just as passionate and gung-ho. Vivi is more determined. Like, I don't feel like anybody like changed or like learned. So that part I agree with.
I guess just goes full circle to like, what was the point of that arc?
Mm-hmm. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was cool. But Megan, I mean, I know, yeah, I don't want to talk too much without hearing your opinion on it either. Like, I want to know how you felt about it.
This was.
Also, the mic's buzzing. Try not to hold it.
Is
You can hear it?
Oh yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah, why would you? Well, no, we're lying. We can't.
I'm sorry. No,
I know,
I really couldn't hear it. Yeah, I do like how like not. I guess the absurdities like going up even more so than the past arcs. Just because like the dinosaurs and giants. Like I'm really excited to see like what the other islands have in store, and also, you know, I did enjoy like. The team up of Usopp and Karoo a lot. It was super fun.
Yeah.
Not to say that the giants weren't interesting, but I did like seeing them interact, and hopefully I could see it again. And I'm gonna miss Karoo when he's gone.
Well, you got a lot more Karoo coming. I'll tell you that.
Good. And I do like the abilities of the Gum fruits. Like they're all super unique, and Miss Golden Week, like her ability's awesome, and she's just like
Golden
chill.
Unique.
Huh?
Miss Golden Unique.
Miss Golden Unique.
Worth it.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what? Huh?
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I mean, it's honestly like, I don't know if it'd be my favorite so far. I think Syrup Village, however you want to feel about that, was my favorite so far. But I am enjoying it. So
I do want to say, and I don't think it's a huge spoiler, that the next two arcs matter.
okay.
In terms of like moving the plot forward. I
Cool.
know that this one felt a little fillery and the Laboon one felt a little fillery, but the next two, Alabasta takes place over like 7 volumes or 8 volumes, and then Drum Island is I think like 3, but they're both important and they both like feel important. And so I don't want
Hear
to
that, Cody?
discourage you, Cody.
I'll find out if that's true.
I know my words mean little when it comes
Little
to One
garden.
Piece. Little garden. I mean little garden.
When
But
you're
anyway.
here, you're little.
I like it. That was an Olive Garden thing.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
So dumb.
I thought it was fantastic.
We can do
When
more.
you're
We can,
here, you're little.
we can expand on it.
No,
What-
I
what-
think it's perfect.
What's the Straw Hats? You know,
When you're here, you're little.
little garden.
That's amazing, dude. That's don't ruin a masterpiece. You know when you look
What
at like
the
a sculpture or
fuck?
painting and you keep tweaking it and then it's like not the thing you liked anymore? Don't touch it, dude.
Okay.
It's perfect. It's a masterpiece. When you're here, you're little, and that's the outro. That's how
Alright.
passionate I am.
You never know which one's gonna land.
I know.
I didn't expect you to react the way you reacted. I don't even remember what I said earlier when you like held
you
your
looked
notebook.
to the
Oh,
camera.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it was so
It was like I felt like a
random.
newscaster.
It was like a newscaster.
But that's gonna do it for more One Piece, the Little Garden arc, chapters 115 through 129. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching another One Piece
don't
video.
You get it? I'm Luffy. This is the most hilarious physical bit in the world.
He's a physical comedian.
Don't you get it? It's funny because my stomach is bigger than it usually
I'm gonna
would
put
be.
the shock collar back on you, dude.
I
I,
think,
can't
dude,
handle
This
we
is
it.
a
need
pro
to-
Luffy argument.
No,
Like,
dude, I think you're getting a little too brave. It looks awesome.
it's me, Luffy. Look, I enjoy food.
All right, and cut it out, dude, or the shock collar is going back on.
I'm singing his praises.
More Berserk, some more JoJo and stuff soon too, but we're going to rotate them all. So definitely expect more One Piece soon. The next video will, of course, be Drum Island. Yeah, I can't wait to continue our One Piece journey, but we got to get to a few other things first. And speaking of getting to things, before we go, we have to thank and get to shouting out our wonderful, beautiful, amazing Mr. I think we've said this in the past, or one of you guys said it, Mr. Number 1 in our hearts.
Mhm. Our candle is always lit for them.
Always
Our giants.
Yes, giants
Are giant.
because they're giant.
And they
We
have honor.
and they're full of honor.
Mm-hmm.
And I would fight to the death for any one of them.
I'd put them on wax.
Sure.
Mhm.
All right. Our Patreon members. Thank each and every one of you for all of your support and everything that you do just by donating the amount, depending on the tier that you've chosen to donate monthly. It's what keeps us going, and it's what keeps us above ground, above water. It keeps us
Sailing.
from
Above water.
from drowning.
From
yeah.
drowning, like
Fro-
if we
fro-
ate a gum fruit.
Exactly.
I mean, a fruit, devil fruit.
Because we would drown.
We would drown.
without you.
Mhm.
But if you
Um,
can't join the Patreon,
But yes, thank you all.
Megan, is there another association they could join?
You can join the Algo Gang in the YouTube comments. Like this video, and also if you go to iTunes, please leave us a review on iTunes because we have 2 haters that actually gave us 1
Who
star.
we know in
And,
real life.
um,
We know
Who
who
Cody
you are.
thinks we
If
do.
you-
but
if-
I don't
And you,
know.
if you
you're
could-
pretty sure.
If you could,
I'm
could
less
just,
sure.
if you could just leave a review, that'd be great.
Oh, she's doing the finger thing.
Yeah, even if you don't listen on iTunes, just go over there and give us a review.
Yeah. And do it on all those thumbs up, commenting. It's because interaction is considered how factor in YouTube money. So you can consider it a way of
Yes.
actually supporting us
Yes,
Yes.
money wise.
yes. Mhm.
Cody likes called a little tip, like from
Oh, yeah,
throwing in
you
a
can-
tip from the tip jar.
View a thumbs up as a tip. Comment anything, even negative. It all adds up actually in the end.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people will like how you
Sure.
acted in this video.
How you
Yeah.
handled everything.
Yeah.
So-
How you handled the criticism.
Yeah. So I'm on board. Yeah, I gave
This is what you wanted.
Yeah, I gave them. There you go. I love it.
But you can do all those things for free. But if you want to take it a step further and you want to join the Patreon, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/volume1pod, early access to all of our videos, and access to our exclusive bonus Patreon podcast.
You can also, by the way, go on our Discord, and we do have a thread that is just all the mangas we've been suggested.
Mhm.
And so, if you see something on there, or you don't see something on there, you can go ahead and request that, or you could do it in the YouTube comment section, and then we'll go through and add it on the list.
But that is all. Find us everywhere. Follow us everywhere because we love you. And we love and hope that you love us and that you love watching. The only thing left to do now is to get out of here on our outro. That's always the same. It never changes. And I know I jumped the gun and I said I really like that one. But Megan, what is our outro?
Wax on, wax off.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't know. It's just like something that was so, it was like Cody wrote that joke for me or came up with that pun like for me. It feels so personal. And so I understand why maybe other people wouldn't really like it, but I think it's fantastic.
What?
When you're here, you're little. Little garden. When you're here, you're
You know
little.
what? I'll give you that one, Cody.
But let's workshop a
You've
few
gone through
more.
a lot. You've gone through a lot. I did beat you up off screen.
Yeah,
You
I
did
feel
have a
like
shock
I didn't get
collar
enough
on.
points for not complaining about when you assaulted me.
Yeah.
Or even that in the previous episode. Yeah, when you, yeah.
Okay, we're only talking about this episode.
Okay.
Calm down.
It was like a recurring bit.
It's not a bit. You literally punched me in the face. We have proof of that.
In revenge.
Okay, well,
And if I punch you at my
is this
full
a
power.
is this a fucking blood? Is this a blood? A blood feud?
Yes, the most honorable thing, and the pursuit itself is worthy of praise.
Well, we're already tied then.
Thank
Why don't we
you
just
for
do
watching.
Cody's?
Thank you for listening. And then we'll say, and then we'll go like this, and then we'll say, because when you're here, you're little.
Okay.
Yes, I like it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And until next time, remember,
When you're here, you're little.
But you're big in our hearts. And it's
Oh,
all of
Couldn't
them.
we just say when you're here, you're little garden?
Yeah.
They don't say Olive Garden when you're here, you're all.
Yeah, exactly. They say,
Yeah, they do. When you're here, your family. Olive Garden.